Yo, what's up? It's me, Kai. No one asked for it, but here's the next bit. Where the fuck? There it is. Alright, so, you've made yourself your game. Yes, it is called Toot-Torial. I don't care. Now you're wondering, how do you draw your map? It's very, very easy. Go up here. Make sure that you are on map. You can switch between F5, F6, and F7. I need to be actually on there. Don't worry about that. Now, you want to draw your map. Make sure you're selected on these couple. Boom. You can flood fill. Beautiful. Now, we've already touched on the draw tool, the rectangle tool, the eclipse tool, the flood fill, and the shadow pen. But we have not talked about the tile set. Map 1 is going to be your starter map. It's not going to be big. But if you go into map properties real quick, you can actually change it. Map 1, you can change it to be a starter map. Doesn't matter. And specify the background. The background, you just... Ooh, there he goes. Holy shit. My computer just is still having problems from the lovely jubbly updates. You can have backgrounds. Isn't that cool? We don't need that right now. You can have your background music. You remember this? Remember this background music menu? Yeah. Make sure you stop that before you continue. You also have themes, towns, airship, dungeon sounds. Say you don't want to start out in a field for this tile set. You want to start out in a town. Make sure you hit tile set exterior and hit OK. Boom! You get a different tile set. Now, what the frick is a tile set? Glad you ask. Tile set is basically different tile sets have different tiles. Marvelous, isn't it? Now, you have field, exterior, interior, and dungeon. Field is basically your flat area. Basically, think about it like your overall map. Like, you're walking around, you got trees, I'm still on the wrong thing. Trees, just kind of like this. Trees like this. You got rocks over here. You got water over here. Say you want to walk through here. You want to have some clouds. You draw some shadows. Very nice, very nice. That is the tile set. Wild. Now, say you don't like this one. You want a new map. Well, you can either hit insert or you can just do new map. We'll just name it like that. Display name. This one is what is displayed whenever you enter the area. Say we want this to be an exterior. Exterior is for your basic cityscape. Say you want to create a sort of island or something. So you pick your stuff. Say you want to create something like this. But now you have to make housing. So you pick your walls. And you pick your roofs. But Kai, I hear you say, how do I get into the house? Well, you'd actually go to on the menu tab B, and you can click any of these. So you have this guy that looks like that. You have this one, which is short. I wouldn't recommend that one. It doesn't look good. You have this guy, which looks like an actual dungeon door. And you have this one. This one looks like you're just going into darkness. So we hit Control Z to get those off. I quite like this door. But you can also do... No, wait, that's not a door. That's a window. Silly me. Let's say you want a different door. There's not a lot of good doors unless you find it via a... Say you want to find a door. Well, you're going to have to go find something that specifically has a door. Like this guy. That's a pretty big door. It's 2 different tiles. However, it looks sort of okay. You got your landscaping tiles. You got up here. Basically denoting if it's a cursed swamp or not. Or say it's an underwater cavern. Or it's cold. You got this thing. That's cold. You have a palace pool. That's cool. You got a mossy pond. You got tide pool. You got that. I actually don't know what the heck that is. That actually might be a cave wall. Oh yeah, that's a cave wall. Okay. And then say you have vegetation. More vegetation. A lot of vegetation. Now, you want a larger map. Go to map properties. You can change the width and the height of the map. These are the tiles, not the pixels. I know. It's crazy. I learned that the hard way. You cannot go below 17 or 13. I will show you. It does not go lower. But oh boy, does it go higher. It can go as high or as wide as you need it to. Now, I actually have not checked. Oh. It can get big. I am still hitting 9. Okay, so it can only go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 integers. We'll just put that back to 17 real quick. You can disable dashing. Why would you? You can change the background sounds for moving the map. You can auto-change background music if you flip between 2 different maps. You can have your background of the, like, if you supposedly, by any sort of means, decide it'd be funny to have, like, say, ooh, that's funny. There it is. That is your eraser thing. Say you don't have, like, the whole thing covered. Like, say you got an interior that you want to do, but you don't want this just black background. Don't you worry. Go into map properties and change the graphics that'll show up. This will show up behind the house that you're building. But there's all sorts of fun stuff. They have gigantic towers that you can build. You got toppers for towers, the bottom if you want to put them right next to each other. You have gigantic piles of gold, medium piles of gold, some that are some of the statues and stuff that is ice and gold. You got, well, this guy right here. You got this sort of stuff. This is all for outside. You do not let your characters go in this. This is set dressing. Say I wanted to create a little thing right here. Boom, bang, pow. The player can interact with this, but they aren't going to, like, actively destroy something like this. Now, since we've gone through 2, let's do a different map type. Let's actually move over to the interior. Interior. Now you see that the map type does change. This is more of your floors. Say you want something like this. You want a sort of floor. Build yourself a nice wall. You want to mark where they go in and out. Done. Nice simple room. And that's what this is. This A is for building the set. B is for stuff that is inside of it. You've got, say you have, want to build a window. There you go. That's not a good window right now. We're not going to mess with that. So, say this is going to be a dungeon. Boom, right there. Hole. You got stairs going down. You got ladders that you can make go up. You got rope. You got ladders going down. That superimposes. This is going to be your underlayer. This is going to be the interactables where you can have your NPC set dressing. And C, that's all the items you can just shove into here. So you have, even on here, your tile set A is going to be your set dressing. Tile set B is going to be stuff that overlays itself onto the set dressing. So it will cover, but it won't get rid of. Now, same with exterior. You have your bottom layer, you have your mid layer, and you have the garnishes on top of either your A layer or B layer. I say layer. They're not actual layers. They're just, tile sets. Now, like I said, B can go first. C is on interior is your large items. You want items strewn around, there you go. But say you don't want either of those and you just want to make dungeons. Well, by golly, there's a tile set for you. So we're actually going to increase this up to 30 by 30. Change the graphic to Mountains by Night. Specify the battle back. Don't worry about that. That's part of a DLC. So you want to make a cobblestone fort. Or anything, really. This highlights the back of the battle. So you want to make this a dungeon. Boom. You want to change your background music. Set the volume. Set the volume because you will blow out everyone's ears. I swear, because I'm going to set my headphones down. I advise you do as well, because actually I'm going to move it up so they're not on my ears, but they're close enough for me to hear. I'm going to put this at 100%. I warn you again, this is going to be loud. When I play through these, this is going to be loud. I don't want any comments going, oh, it was too loud. I have warned you twice. I'll do you a third warn. This is going to be loud. I advise you either set it off to the side or put it close to your, not on your ear, not in your ear, close to your ear, because this is even loud whenever I have my headphones on. In fact, the mic actually might pick this up. So, here we go. All right. So, I can hear that. They are resting on my temples. This is noise canceling. It is loud. I am putting this volume back down, and I advise you to put your headphones back on now, because I am putting this down to 50%. This is loud. Alright, we like this one. We auto change. not have one. Alright. We're going to disable dashing. You want to add troops. You remember back when in the... I can't actually do this right now. But in the tool section on... tools to... I have actually in my notes right now, right here. Tools to database to system, not system, to tools to into the menu database into the menu for troops. You can actually go through and change these. I'm gonna put bats in there. We'll keep the weight there. It's gonna be whole map. You can specify. You can specify by region ID in the dungeon where these bats could be. Say we had ID 2, 4, and 1 are able to spawn bats. Boom. Now we want slimes and region map 3, 6, and 4. You are basically, this is checking the amount of steps, which is 30, and just basically building your encounter. This is your encounter table. If you know D&D, if you know tabletop RPGs, you know that you will have an encounter system for things that exist. If you don't, I apologize. That is my only frame of reference right now. Again, I went into this completely fucking blind. So, say you're making a book and you need an encounter table. Use D&D. If you are making Grimdark, use Warhammer 40k. Anyway, so, yeah, it's rough. But every place has an encounter table if you are going as a single player. If you are going army to army, that's all you're encountering. You're encountering the enemy army. So, like I said, list of randomly spawning troops whenever the player is moving. Add a setting, double click, a blank space. You can also right click, hit edit, just double click, it's easier. Notes, congratulations, it's a memo area. It exists again. Hit there. Now we get into our tile set. Once again, we're going to autofill this to this. We're going to make big O room. Big O encounter room. Now, say you don't like the fact that you've messed up in a little area. Well, you can always just go in there with your rectangle tool. And fix all your little misses in that area. Say you want puddles. You want them to look neat. You put the eclipse tool, because if you do a rectangle tool, it looks like that. Welcome back, Pokemon Pearl and Diamond. Say you want winding rivers. Use the pencil tool. It literally changes that. You want a whole thing of water? There you go. The shadow tool will just do that. It'll just cast shadow. It does not mix with the tile set. Now, say you want platforming. It's not going to work, because this just automatically eats what's below it. I'm not entirely sure why it does that. This works though, sort of. See? Booty cheeks. You're not going to create floating platforms, sadly. It's going to look nice, it's going to look neat, but it's not going to work. Now, you've created your basic dungeon. There's no walls here. It's going to be a monster party. You need to do set dressings. Woo. Set dressing complete. I'm joking. I am very much joking. We're getting rid of this. You don't want a player to go into this area? Kind of do that. Like I said with the other tile sets, A is your floor, B is your stuff that you put on the floor, and C is your set dressing. You notice that a lot of B tile set from interior has shown up, from C interior. No, it is from B interior. See, a lot of B interior has actually showed up on C dungeon. Look at that. Sometimes dungeon things happen. Now, say you want spookiness. Add bones. Spooky. Sorry, it's almost Halloween. Now, you notice that we actually haven't talked by region yet. You can go in here and mark the random areas in which certain spawnable monsters are going to be. This basically denotes where monsters are allowed to randomly spawn, events to randomly play out, and XYZ. It's mostly related to spawning monsters. So if you want the player to encounter a specific amount of monsters before they go in, or that, you're going to definitely have to put them on the map. Which, I mean, you can. It's not going to harm you. We'll talk about how to do that here in a second. Because that's another part of map building, is the NPC and the monsters we made friends with along the way. So, say you want your characters to encounter stuff like that. Congratulations, you've made a region map. So, say that you want to just put stuff. Players can't walk through that. So make sure that you are able to create a sort of maze for them to check everything, because guess what the set dressing is going to do? It's going to dress the set. Gasp. I'm joking. It will set the dress. However, dress the set. Words. However, if your players cannot get through an area, they're not going to like the fact that you put a key item on the other side, unless that key item makes sense. So, you've made your beds, now we will lie in it. How do we make events? Let me check time. Okay, good. We're still time. Say you want to create an NPC that just kind of hangs out here. You will have to go to event, and then you get to right click, hit new event. This is a lot to take in. We'll get there when we get there. Don't worry about these for right now. Don't worry about these for right now. We're going to worry about this for right now. Say we want... let's say we want... No, we don't want a big monster. We want... Bunny girl. We'll get a bunny girl. Now that graphic is going to appear on screen. In 3, 2, 1. Boom! Graphics on screen. Edit the event. You can make her walk. Let her walk around randomly in the set. Have her approach your character, or set a custom move route. That's a lot, isn't it? First of all, your cardinal directions. Second of all, your diagonals. Third, random. Fourth, towards player, away from player. Step forward, step back. You can have them jump. You can have them wait. Turn your cardinal directions. Turn right or left 90 degrees. Make them turn around. Right or left, randomly. Look at that, another random one. Turns towards player, turns away from players. Turns a specific switch on, turns it off. Changes speed, changes frequency. These are for after you input all of these. You can have their walking animation turn on and off. Stepping animation on and off. Direction fix. They can't move their heads. Stops. If they can be... Makes it possible to sneak through the passable tile or character. You can walk through them. You can't walk through them. They're see-through. They're not. You can make them change the graphics. You can change opacity. You can change the blending method. You can change the sound effect. You can actually put a freaking script. We'll get there when we get there, because I haven't even done it yet. You can have them repeat the action. You can have it if they skip move. You can wait for completion. But the problem is you have to actually put the move route there first. So, lots of stuff. We'll have her fixed. We're not going to have to worry about speed. But if we were, say she was going at random, you can have her set to the speed that you're doing. Half the speed that you're doing. Quarter the speed you're doing. Or an eighth the speed. Now you want her to go faster, twice or fourth. No, twice or quadruple the speed. We're going to have her set to normal. Now we're going to have the frequency. This is the frequency in which she steps. Is she going to step about the exact same time you are? Is she going to have a lower frequency or a higher frequency? Priority. The thing I can equate this to is if you have higher initiative or lower initiative, or if it's easier for you to do, say your Pokemon has a higher speed, so it has a higher priority of moving. If your Pokemon is heavy and has a lower speed, it has a lower priority. But if your Onix is stuck behind your Meowth will move at the exact same speed as you. Your trigger, if you get close to them, you can actually hit the interact key, which is either enter E or space. You can set it. You can have it be interacted by action button, player touch, event touch, auto run, or parallel process. Auto run makes it so that it just goes automatically. If they touch an event space or you hit a switch, you can change it that way. If you have a parallel process, like say you have two things happening at once, boom, bang. I personally like player touch because as soon as you walk to them, they can go, oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. Let me move out of the way. Or say it's an NPC that you have to get their attention. Guess what? Action button. You can have her walking animation, stepping animation, direction fit, or through. We'll have her in her through state. Now, you remember this menu, do you? Yeah, that's right. We're finally getting on that. Now, there's 3 tabs. They're full. What do they mean, though? Well, you have your messages. Say you want them to talk. Boom, this one. It opens up this one. You can actually input her face. We can tell her to say hello or say swears. It's great. You can batch entry, which means that it loads the entire thing. So if you go like 1, 2, 2, 3, it'll actually load as a scroll. There's more. Hold on. I forgot. There's more to this. This is basically where the cutoff is. Anything past this mark right here it won't load on the message. Now, you have a background, you have a dim background, transparent background. This is for the window. We'll have it appear at the middle of your screen. Like that. Preview. Dim background. This guy. Or normal window. That's what it looks like. Show choices. If you have a yes or no, or if you have a item, you can create a branching event list. So say we asked, do you like grilled cheese? And you have a yes or no thing. Yes equals text, cool, I like grilled cheeses as well. Or no is like, oh man, I thought I could have a buddy. You would create these two. I'm going to let you see what it does. When the player clicks yes, you'll get this prompt. If they click no, they'll get this event. Input number. You can input the amount of numbers. You can assign variables to this. It's awesome. We're going to take care of that. If you have an ID for the key item that you have, guess what? You can do it there. Scrolling text. You just want them to speed through like a wall of text real quick? Or do you want them to not fast forward? Right here. This one is your friend. Game progression. Alright, so these are a fun thing. Switches are this section. You can do, if you want something to happen and you don't want a player to hear this dialogue 6 million times, and if you want them to hear different dialogue, you employ a switch. If you want your players to only hear one set of dialogue so many times, and then you want them to hear a different dialogue, you employ a variable. If you want to do... This one is only used on the map screen. So if you want like a button on the wall to actually do something, that one. If you want a timer, this will display a timer. It'll have a start and a stop. You can actually put this in, say like you have like, oh, you have to get through this dungeon at 5 minutes, otherwise something will happen. This one. Conditional branch. If-then statements. Loop statements. Break loop. If you're tired of being a loop, you get to break it. If you want to end running events, you get this one. If you want to call a common event, which we'll actually quickly go into here. Actually, no. Where did I see this? Common events. Right in here. You can have a trigger from a switch to run this parallel process, or have it auto run, or just have it not run at all. And say you want to name it 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. Have it auto run with have it there. That's how you get this, and you add your events into here. Say like if you've got a player that can't actually, like in Majora's Mask, you have only a certain amount of time in areas before something else happens. Or if you get through a bunch of events but can't finish the game within the set amount of time, that event will pull you back. Or something else. Back into this. You can have them jump to a specific label name. You have to put the label name. You can add a comment. This one is just for your amusement. This one can act as a giving or taking away gold, giving or taking away items, giving or taking away weapons, giving and taking away armor, giving or taking away party members. You can have them heal or get removed, decrease. You can have them increase or decrease magic points, change your state, recover all, change the experience, change levels, change the parameters, which would be like the variable here, increase, like a specific, like, oh, I want to have this character have more HP, but I have to meet this NPC and do this quest. That's how you would do it. Change the skills, change the equipment. Like if you want to have an NPC that they encounter be a bandit and it strips all their armor, this one. Change the name of the actor, change the class of the actor, change the nickname of the actor. Say you gave them a nickname and then you wanted them to be referred to as something else. Like say, their real name was this the entire time. Change their nickname right there. Boom. Movement. This is player movement. So, say you want to transfer a player between maps, which is over here. You get onto this tab, and then you would hit this one, which transfers your player to here. You can actually just assign the variables. You can retain the directions in which you're moving or make them face other ways. You can have a whiteout, a normal just fade, or none at all. Vehicles are different. You have boat, ship, and airships. You have event locations. At this event or an event like this. You can have them over here for some reason. You can have them scroll the map a little bit. Changes the map, scrolls their map without the thing. Say your character needs to go look at something, but they don't know where it is. So they ask the NPC. They go, oh, it's over there, and make the map move without the player interacting with it. You can set a route. So like if you have a button on the floor that if they press, it automatically forces the player to route a thing. Like you can get them on or off the vehicle. Like say you have a person that's telling them to get off the boat. They get off the boat. You have a character on the boat. And you need to get on the boat. Oh, there you go. Placed there. You got timing. You wait this much before doing something. We will have pictures. I don't know how to insert that just yet. You display them like, oh, I found this map or something. You can move the picture, rotate, tint, erase, and set weather effects. That's a pretty strong event, isn't it? Now, you can have the character change transparency, change player followers. Like, say you want to follow the player. You hit, I think there. Hold on. It's basically just shows or hides any followers. Gain followers. Shows an animation. Shows a balloon icon. Basically, if their balloon icon is exclamation, you got all sorts of fun stuff. It's like a what is it called? Anyway, erase event. You can erase events. Isn't that wild? You can do screen effects, fade out, fade in, tints, flash, shake. You can have this. This does not all just happen to be a person. You can actually just set it to random tiles on the floor. And to this is more of your technical stuff. If you want them to do a script, there you go. If you want them to play a movie, there you go. If you want them to change anything that you as the maker can change, battle background, battle end, save access, menu access, encounters, formation, access, window color, actor color, graphics, vehicle graphic. It's all on tab 3. I know we're going in different ways, but I swear I'm just doing this to make sure you're paying attention. Not the fact that I may or may not have just drank so much caffeine. Anyway, screen control. All this fun stuff. Make sure you allow the people to save. You can do battle processing, shot processing. Battle processing starts a battle. Shop processing opens a shop. You can input the name to change your actor's name. You can open the screen. You can call up a save screen. You can call up a game over. You can force the player to the title screen. And on the map, you can change the map name display, change tile set, change battle back, change parallax back. So that stuff. You can change the background of the battle, and you can get the information of the location, which it requires the coordinates. And you have the battle. Normally, this stuff is not supposed to be here. However, if you have an event going on, you can force an enemy HP, MP, and all this stuff to happen. This is all the, all the actor stuff, but for enemies now. And again, your script. Like I said, I would get to this. And yeah, you can do that pretty much anywhere. You will start in this area though. Right now, there is no event for this player to get to this map. There is no map event to get to this map. There's no event to get to this map. Right now, they are all separate maps. How do we get there? Well, we highlight a screen, an event, so we put that there. We can change the graphic. Let's put it to... Let's put it to that. Insert. Go to 2. Transfer player. Transfer them from there to there. Okay. Hit there. Hit apply. Boom. Bang. Pow. Hit play. Always save. It did not save. Yep, it did not save, which means I get to do the fun thing. There we go. Now what's the problem here? I have set this event to player touch. That's the reason why, and that's the only thing that I have that connects me to certain areas. This right now is just a set. This person does nothing. There's no event tied to her. There's no event tied to over here. There's no event that allows me to go back. So, that, my friends, is map making and events. I don't know when the next one is because I actually have to learn the next bit, and then I'll be able to make a video about it. So yeah, this has been the Toot-Torial. I don't apologize for anything. Goodbye.